So we live in a fairly confusing and stressful era, especially when it comes to AI and software programming. So there are many questions that I wonder about, and I think a lot of us are wondering about. Um, the first one is the relationship between AI and programming languages. So a reasonable question to ask is, um, should I use a different programming language now that I'm programming with AI? That it seems reasonable. Um, they're basically, I would say, roughly speaking, uh, there are two directions that people have been taking. Um, so the first one is understanding uh, is important, and so you want a programming language that is as expressive and concise as possible, um, so that when you're chatting with the AI, you get um, you can understand what the AI is writing, and discuss with your AI whether this is the direction to go. So this is one angle. Um, the other angle is you want the AI to be as autonomous as possible, and you basically don't want to look at any of the code. And so then at that point, there are two factors that can come into play. One of them is quickly um, can the AI compile and execute the code, right? So that's one angle, which would still favor um, some programming language like Python, for example, where basically typically there's no compiler, so it's very fast, and the AI can check its ideas. The other direction is, well, if you want it to be as autonomous as possible, then you want to constrain the AI as much as possible. So if you're using Python, you're going to throw a lot of linters and so forth on top of it. Or you may favor something like say, for example, Rust, right? And then you've got programming language like Go, for example, that's very quickly. It can execute very fast. It's easy to package and so forth. So for the AI, it's convenient. It doesn't necessarily do as much checking maybe as Rust, but then maybe it doesn't have to. So maybe Go is good too. Um, so we have all of these questions, but to add to it, there's even the question of whether you're going to need to know a programming language at all as a human being, right? Um, and so Elon Musk, for example, has hinted that maybe we're going to go straight to binary, so you don't need a programming language at all, which kind of is kind of crazy, especially my friends who've been compiler engineers. They don't like this answer at all. Um, but why not? I mean, if you're not going to look at the code anyhow, why not go straight to the machine and let's just discuss with the AI on strategies. Um, the point that has me puzzled is um, what does it mean to program if I don't understand anymore what's happening, right? And here we are on a spectrum. So when I'm programming in say Java, I'm quite far from the machine, so I don't understand how typically Java programmers don't understand how the machine translates the code that they type into actually binary executable code. So um, so already when you're programming Java, there's a lot of things you don't understand, but you do understand your code, or at least some of it, right? So if you're going to do any work at all and be useful and be gainfully employed with AI, then you should understand something. But what is this something, right? So it's high-level ideas that are completely uncoupled from the programming language. That's possible. I don't know. Um, Now, I'll conclude with this remark, uh, where I think that one issue is that um, it gets stressful because we don't share the same view. So within, say, a community or within, say, a team, a team of programmers, not everyone is going to share the same view. So some people are going to insist on understanding the code. So in many of my projects, open source projects, I insist on understanding what's going on, because otherwise, what am I maintaining, right? I might as well put Claude in charge. You know, what's my purpose if I don't understand the pull request? Um, but there are other people who say, no, we don't need to understand any of this code. We just need to basically prompt. And and sometimes I'm in the other camp, right? Um, and of course, depending on the projects, you're going to go into one direction or another. So if I need a script, um, I'm just going to say, well, and I'm going to, if I need a script that I'm going to use once, I'm just going to say, well, I don't care as long as it does what I want. I can delegate. But if I do like a piece of ensuring that I care a lot about, then I might want to understand all of the details. The problem that I see is that we don't have norms between human beings because things are changing too fast. So I imagine that there must be a lot of conflicts out there with people trying to work together but having different visions. So that's my take on it at this point. Um, hope you enjoyed it, and I'd like to hear about your own views on the matter.